The Yamaha R1. A staple in the MotoGP world. An icon on the streets. Valentino Rossi's steel stallion. And what makes this R1 so special? What is up, everybody? It's me, Eric B, and welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone had a great holiday. I know I did. And if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can stay up with all of my latest content. I'm here at Flip My Cycle here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I'm going to be doing a first ride on this 2012 Yamaha R1. And right from the get-go, if we're talking about styling, this thing is awesome. I love the way that the front end on this R1 looks. They changed it over in about 2009, all the way up to about 2014 before they swapped it out to the present model. I do like the current one that's out now, but man, I can't get over the front end. I personally think that this is the best looking R1 that was made. Some people may disagree. It just looks so mean. I like this blue color. This may be a custom paint job. You can see a little bit of some flames and stuff like that in the paint. But yeah, as you can see right now, it has the Toast exhaust on it. Believe that's how you pronounce it. I don't want to get hit up for pronouncing that wrong, but I love the undertail exhaust that comes on this year model of the R1. I do think that some of the manufacturers are going away from the tail-mounted exhaust just for weight and heat purposes. But this thing has a 998cc engine, and what makes this particular style of R1 special all the way up to the present is the cross-plane motor. Now each crank pin is set at 90 degrees, giving it an uneven firing order, giving it that unique engine note that you guys hear. It's not your standard inline, you know, whiny type of sound, but it has that nice grunt to it. And you can also find the cross-plane in some V8 motors as well. Alright guys, while we're at it, let's go ahead and look at the gauge cluster here. Love the analog tack, can never get over those. Alright, we have a traction control switch here, and you're able to adjust that up and down to your liking. We also have a rider mode switch, so right now we're in standard, and you can go from A to B. And then you also have some other lights up here for your gas gauge whenever, not your gas gauge, but gas light whenever you're starting to get low on fuel. And then it does have a gear indicator, which is also awesome because I always hate forgetting what gear I'm in. And then let's go ahead and start her up so you can hear what this bad boy sounds like. This thing sounds mean. Alright guys, we're going to get her out on the road, see how she performs, but before we go anywhere, let's cut to the B-roll. Alright guys, so starting off right away, sitting on this bike, I'm 6'2", so I can pretty much flat foot any bike I sit on, but most Yamahas are going to have a more aggressive stance to them. So the R6 and the R1, you're going to be leaned over a whole lot more, and you can definitely feel that in this seat right now. The seat, not too bad. Once we get riding, we'll probably be able to tell a little bit more of a difference, but it feels pretty comfortable so far. Man, that exhaust sounds good. guys, I don't know how long this review is going to be, just because we're starting to get a little bit of rain that we're blessed with here in North Carolina. So this exhaust, man, sounds really good. And as far as the horsepower rating on this goes, it's rated at 179 horsepower with about 179 foot-pounds of torque. Now you may read it a little bit differently in some spots, because I did see 151 and 71, but I don't believe that's the case. I think it's a little bit more than that. I'm gonna have to take it a little bit easy as well. Roads are just a little bit slick. As far as weight goes, this comes in at about 454 pounds, and it's not too bad. It's actually pretty light. When I was moving it around in the parking lot, it felt really light, so not too heavy there. Although the front end does feel a little bit different in terms of handling. And so far, riding most of the leader bikes, the CBR and the Aprilia, they all kind of feel the same, how they feel in the front end. Oh yeah. She's definitely got some power. Okay, now we're in A mode, which is a little bit more aggressive, and you can definitely feel it right off the bat. She'll get up and move, all right. Man, I love having a gear indicator. So you can change the rider modes on the move. I don't think I can change the traction control unless we're stopped. But since it is a little bit wet out, I'm gonna leave it where it's at. So in terms of shifting and everything else, and just when you actually get on the throttle, this thing is really punchy and aggressive. I don't think this is really a bike made for, you know, kind of putting around town and stuff like that, because it doesn't really like to go slow because it's kind of jerky. I think this thing, you know, it wants to go. So just be aware of that. If you're going to be riding around town, it may be a little jerky, a little notchy here and there. This thing loves to be wide open, as in wide open on the road. Alright guys, so far the handling on this bike is pretty standard, just like any other sport bikes. The throttle, when I roll onto it and then just shifting gears, it's really grabby, and it'll put you back if you're not ready for it. See right there, right when I shifted into second, it just kind of, you got to be smooth with it. Man, this thing has an awesome sound. I think it sounds better than the Aprilia. The Aprilia also had a soft exhaust on it. Alright guys, so I just want to let you know that, you know, I'm no professional reviewer or a journalist or anything when it comes to these motorcycles. I do this for you guys, and, you know, I just take the information that I know, and I review it from my standpoint, you know, my opinion on the bike. And this is more for, you know, the average Joe that's going to go out and, you know, get any of these bikes, and then you can kind of hear it from my take on, you know, how these perform and how they feel and stuff like that. So just wanted to throw that out there. Once you're rolling the throttle, it's so smooth and so linear, it just pulls and pulls. If you get something like this, you'll definitely be satisfied with the power and the sound. So you know how I am with the sound. This thing gets 2 thumbs up for that. The power is crazy fast. It's really aggressive. The stance so far, after riding it for a few minutes here, it is really aggressive. I feel really lean forward. So just take note of that if you plan to ride this around a lot, you know, commute with it, things like that. Can't get over the exhaust note, man. This thing sounds so good. And just the style of this bike, man. Love the way that it looks. This is, like I said before, this is my favorite style of the R1. This is definitely not a bike you want to start on if you're a new rider. And I think out of all of the 1000cc bikes I've ridden so far, which is the CBR, the Aprilia, and now this is the most aggressive. I think this has like the most bottom end punch out of all of them. And then I would say the Aprilia and then the CBR. All right, so as far as the heat goes, it's a little bit warmer today. We're looking, I think we're almost 70 degrees out here today. And I do feel some heat coming in right here where my knees are, squeezing the tank. I don't really feel too much in the seat right now. And we're sitting at about 162 degrees. So I'm sure on a hotter day when we're idling, we're going to feel it more in the seat as well, just because the exhaust is back there. All right, now as far as braking goes, this thing has 6-pot calipers in the front, which that's pretty awesome. Definitely need it with this thing. And the brakes grab pretty good. No issues there. Now I don't know if these are actually Yamaha brand calipers or if they're Brimbos or anything like that. Someone, you know, leave me a comment down below and let me know. But yeah, overall, man, this is a very nice bike. I like it. Like I said, if I had to get an R1, it would definitely be this body style. Now, I am going to try to ride a 2015 or 2017, one of those two, but the newer body style, and kind of do a comparison between the two. Yeah, just driving around town, man. This thing is a little bit more aggressive, so it just wants to go every time you shift and get on the throttle. All right, the seat so far since I've been riding is not too bad. It's not hard as a rock or anything, so really no complaints on that. I did notice that the windshield and everything, once you get down to the tuck, that you got a lot more wind in your face, but I probably wasn't tucked down enough either. But I just noticed on some of the other bikes that I've ridden that the windshield comes up a little bit higher. So it seems like you're down in front of it a little bit more, but no biggie. All right, as far as fuel economy goes, I believe this gets 33 miles to the gallon, which, hey, when you're buying a bike like this, who cares about fuel economy, right? Overall, this is a really awesome bike. I'm not a fan of the seating position, but hey, to each its own. This one does not like to be babied around town. I don't know how much I'll stress that. Also, if you're looking for a nice R1, whether it's this body style or the newer one or older, definitely check out Flip My Cycle. They have a big selection. Thanks to them again for allowing me to do a first ride and review on this bike. Alright guys, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about the R1. Do you like this particular body style, or do you like the newer one? And then if you're looking for an R1, whether it's old or new, definitely check out the guys at Flip My Cycle. They have a wide selection, and thanks to them again for allowing me to do a first ride and review on this one. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.